Blessings this evening. Good evening, everyone, my Sunday Night Alive community. So happy you have decided to join me tonight for our weekly Sunday Night Alive spiritual community connection. So if you're new here, my name is Reverend Denise Schubert. I am the purveyor of possibility that hosts Sunday Night Alive, also is the director of A Life of Spiritual Power. And we come together to explore metaphysical, beyond physical ideas and teachings and learnings that will help us navigate this life with more happiness, more joy, more power, more poise, more confidence, less trauma, less drama, less struggle. That's why we're here. We're here because, hi Terry, because the world needs people who are awake, needs people who are paying attention to what's been created and what's possible to create. So I'm about cultivating that group of people so that we begin to model and mirror what's possible for humankind. If you're here with me, please say hello on the comments. Let me know you're here. I love seeing you here. And it also is much more fun talking to you than talking into this camera on my own. Makes it quite personal and wonderful for me. So our topic tonight is Go for What's Real. It's been deeply influenced by my talk today. I was actually at the Unity Church in Bonita Springs and had a wonderful time with that community and revisited all the great analogies and all the great learnings that we can derive from the transformational story of going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And I think it feeds into really this conversation about what does it mean? What do I mean? What do I mean by go for what's real? But before I begin, let me speak a blessing upon us on this beautiful Sunday night as we are either ending our weekend or ending our week or getting ready to move into a new week. So if you're here with me, just take a connected community breath together, even though we're not together and near each other's bodies. We are together in consciousness and certainly together through the technology. So in this universe, a conscious connection is all we really need to do anything, really. And so as we do come together this evening, we come together in the name and the nature of unconditional love and perfect peace. We come together in the remembrance of a power that is transcendent to us, also eminent to us. That power, that presence that I call God, but you can call spirit or love, is not only outside, but inside. It is everywhere present. No spot where God is not. No spot where life is not happening in every minute of every day for eternity. This thing called life, intelligence, beauty, order, harmony, perfection is happening right now. And so it is from that place that I bless our time together, calling it good and very, very good, knowing that if we are here by divine appointment, so that our hearts are opened, our minds are opened to a new idea of how we might live in such a way that we are happy, healthy, and wise, and contribute to the quality of life on this planet for everyone. So for me, that is a blessing, a purpose, and a meaning worth being here for. So we just let that happen tonight together. And so it is. Amen. Amen. So, So I love, by the way, I just love this quote. You cannot talk butterfly language with caterpillar people. Um, and it makes me aware of the idea that sometimes when we're talking about transformation, when we're talking about enlightenment, when we're talking about waking up, when we're talking about taking on the cloak of our divinity, sometimes I imagine, as it did once to me, sound a little like gibberish, a little like, yeah, right, right, right. How do you pay your bills? What do you do with your spouse? You clearly have no children, right? So there's this working in the world, and then there's this working in the spirit, and they're very different conversations. So this quote is very cute because it's hard. It's, in fact, it's almost my job, or any spiritual teacher's job, to try to find a way to talk about that which cannot be talked about at the level we're trying to talk about it. And this is very understandable when you look at the caterpillar and the butterfly, because the caterpillar is very grounded on the earth, right? The caterpillar has a very good life. It lives in these lush green places, the bushes and the plants and the trees, and it has its caterpillar community, and it gets to eat whatever it wants all of the time, and it's very happy. It's a very happy, green, delicious life. And all of a sudden, something happens to the caterpillar, and something within it, it's like almost God invites the caterpillar into a new life. Like, Mr. Caterpillar or Mrs. Caterpillar, I would like to invite you into a better life. I would like to invite you into a brand new life. I would like to invite you into a life of possibility and potential and beauty. And do you want to go? Well, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to have that life? The caterpillar says. And life says to the caterpillar, God says to the caterpillar, well, all you have to do is you're going to build a cocoon for yourself, and then you're going to crawl into the cocoon. And while you're in there, your body's going to turn to goo, but it won't last long. The goo won't last long. And after about 14 days, you will emerge not just a better caterpillar, you're going to emerge an entirely new creation. You will have wings. You will be so beautiful. You will fly above everything. You will get to see everything. You'll get to see a reality that before this moment was unimaginable to you. Do you want to go? Well, fortunately, the caterpillar is hardwired by nature to say yes, hardwired by nature to obey the mandates of the call to transformation. So we are also hardwired that way, but with one little exception, because we're just this much lower than angels, in that we can say no, right? We can say no. So for most of us, the invitation to transformation is always connected with the fear of the goo in the cocoon, that we're afraid of what will happen. We're afraid we'll lose something. We're afraid we'll never be the same again. We're afraid we'll be bored. We're afraid we'll be lonely. So most of us fight this transformation process. But this quote is so lovely because it's really saying that the butterfly. So the original quote for my talk today, which I've talked about many times, if you've been with me over the years, this is not the first time you've heard me talk about butterflies. The original quote is, only a butterfly can explain how caterpillars come to fly. So you cannot talk to the caterpillar about flying, because the caterpillar is incapable of flight. It's exactly the same way that human beings who are still only grounded in their humanity are incapable of the experience that awakened, enlightened, or transformed people have, right? That's why Jesus's teachings, by the way, were so powerful, because he spoke in parables. He spoke in ways that people could understand that the kingdom of heaven that he was talking about was at hand, so that even though you've never been there, don't know what it is, at least you can begin to catch a glimpse. So this is a starting point tonight for the conversation on Go for What's Real, because it is a twofold conversation. Because Joel Goldsmith is the author of this book called Living Between Two Worlds, between two worlds with an S. So there is who we are as humans and how we behave in life as humans, how we live in life as humans. And then there's the spiritual world of how we live as spirits and what we care about as spirits. And they are quite different and exist in two completely different domains, two completely different realities. And I would say that once you have awakened to or tasted or experienced yourself as an embodied spirit, it doesn't mean you stop living in the world as a human, but it does mean that you have a different perspective and a different idea of what that means. You can imagine, so the butterfly, the transformed caterpillar, having become a butterfly, is seeing life from a completely different perspective. A perspective that the caterpillar cannot in any way have. And the caterpillar doesn't go back to the old ways of being, the butterfly does not go back to the old ways of being a caterpillar, but it includes the caterpillar. So it is with us that when we awaken to the truth of our spiritual identity, which, by the way, is the ultimate going for what's real. Going for what's real is to go for that part of you that is transcendent to your human circumstances and conditions, people, places, things, your past, your stories, what's happened to you, even what's happening in the world today. It's to see that all of that is I don't know what the right word is. It's like a created thing. Like the way we live is a created thing by our narrow and limited ability to think things into existence. So I get a little metaphysical on you here. So we're really wanting to create things into existence from a higher state of consciousness or from a different perspective. So tonight we can talk about going for what's real from both a human perspective and a spiritual perspective. And I love the one from a human's perspective because it's equally as transformational. We could actually stop talking about the spirit now and just talk about what it means to be a human, experiencing the life we live in. So as a human, I'm going to tell you, there are two ways of experiencing your humanity. We were given our physical senses, right? We touch, we taste, we smell, we hear, we see. And I would encourage us to go for what's real from an experiential standpoint and not a conceptual standpoint. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, to see a picture of an elephant or to watch an elephant, on BBC or someplace else is one kind of experience. But to be standing, there's a place in South Africa called the Elephant Sanctuary where you can go and you can stand next to these magnificent animals and you can feed them and touch their tongues and their ears, and you can actually be with the elephant. And being with the elephant is an experiential experience that is nowhere, that just seeing a picture of an elephant cannot even begin to touch. Whole different experience. It's the same with everything. To eat an orange or to eat watermelon on a really hot day is really different than watching someone else eat watermelon, or to imagine eating watermelon. That there's something real in the experience of it. In life, I would encourage us always to go for experience, to go to see that experience is experience and concepts are concepts, and they are not the same thing. Don't treat them like the same thing. Don't defend them like the same thing. They are different things. To be in love is different than watching other people be in love, right? To be standing in the rain is different than imagining it's raining. They're two very different things. So many people are satisfied with the knockoff. Now, do you remember, I can't remember the decade. I'm pretty sure it was the 80s. I think it was the 80s. There was this, you'll all remember this because we're all kind of old people now. Though hopefully I have some young people with me. Seldom though do we have anyone here under 30. Hi, everyone. Does anybody remember the Is It Real or Is It Memorex? So this was a commercial for recording tape. And its point was that its recording tape was so good that if you heard Ella Fitzgerald singing on that tape, it could all by itself break a glass, shatter it with her voice, and that you would not know the difference. And I remember even then thinking, well, yeah, but it's not really Ella Fitzgerald. It's just a copy of her voice, right? It's not the real thing. It's just a representation of the real thing. So is a representation of the real thing as good as the real thing? Well, I would like to say, no, it's not the same. Not even close to being the same. Is it better than nothing? Well, I suppose in a way, seeing a picture of an elephant is better than never seeing a picture of an elephant. But seeing an elephant is so far superior to seeing a picture of an elephant. I mean, you should just go for seeing the elephant. And that's true about everything. It's true about everything. So one aspect of my topic tonight is going for what's real, is to make sure in life that you're living in the present moment, leaning into your true and real experience, not being happy just, as a country, certainly as a country, and I think even as a world, we are so living vicariously through other people's experience, through the news, through media, through movies, through television, that we're not really in the experience as we are in our heads about the experience. So living that way, you lose some of the richness of life. You lose some of the bliss of life, some of the experience of life. We eat so fast, we don't experience the taste of food. We move so fast, we don't experience the blessings of rest. We have so many pictures and ideas and concepts and perceptions about what a good relationship is or what a bad relationship is, that we're not even present in our relationships. I remember hearing the story one time about a man who had a very, very, very successful first date with this beautiful woman. He, made reservations at a hotel by the ocean in Southern California, and the evening was just perfect. The weather was perfect. The food was perfect. Their conversation was easy, and it was just a wonderful evening. And it was so wonderful that he tucked it away and said, the next time I need a wonderful first date, I'm going to repeat this. And he made the same reservation at the same restaurant, and the whole thing was a disaster. So the point really is that every day, every minute, it works best to approach life as a brand new baby day, a brand new experience, being open to what is actually happening, what's really happening, what's really going on here. It also living this way eliminates a lot of fear, worry, and doubt, because you can let go of what other people are saying, in as much as so what would happen, I'm trying to find a better way to say this, what would happen if you stopped hearing everything everyone said everywhere as truth, as real? What would happen if the only thing you called real, what was real for you based on your firsthand, up close personal experience? What I know to be real is this. What I know to be true for me is this. And you can let everything else be there. You don't have to change it or fight against it or resist it or push it or anything. But what if it just sat there without your emotional attention or your calculations or your mental energy? Are you following what I'm saying? There's a kind of beingness or an isness with life if you just go, if you truly just go with what you know to be real and true, but really even just to know the difference. So when you're listening to a recording of a singer, it's not the same as listening to the singer, right? If you're watching a sexy movie, it's not the same as having sex. It's just not the same thing. It's a different thing. I remember I've seen, had the honor and joy to see Celine Dion in person a couple of times. And one of the times I saw her in Las Vegas, it was so freaky. They had this technology, this hologram technology. So you're watching Celine Dion is singing. She's done singing. She's taking a break. So she goes off stage. And so we're all sitting around talking and just oohing and ahhing over how great she is. And all of a sudden, Celine Dion's back on the stage singing, which is great. So we're watching. It's beautiful. She's singing. She's back. And then we hear her singing over to the right. So there's a Celine Dion in the walkway singing, and Celine Dion on the stage singing. And I don't know what kind of technology lets you do that, but it was so creepy because you almost didn't know what was real. And I think that's kind of the world we're living in right now. I think we're being faced with and living and having to really discern what's real and what's not real, and to live with that. Because if you do, it can bring you, boom, right into butterfly consciousness, right into big picture view. Now listen, it is not wrong or bad, obviously, to be a caterpillar. Do you understand that? Being a caterpillar is just fine. So don't go around thinking that being just a human there's something wrong with just being a human. Or if you happen to be one who has touched the hem of the garment and have some kind of spiritual awareness, don't be dissing people who haven't, because it's okay to be a caterpillar. Same way it's okay to be an unawakened human. It's okay to just be human. It's okay to be in the struggle of humanity and what that means. It's just that it's not bad. It's just not enough. That's all. It's just not enough. We're striving here together in metaphysics. We're striving to catch a glimpse of what's going on in the world, in the cosmos, really. We know what's going on in the world. Mayhem. Mayhem. What would the world look like if everyone went mad. It's kind of what it looks like today. A lot of violence, a lot of fighting, a lot of conflict, a lot of judgment, a lot of I'm right, you're wrong, a lot of I'm better, you're worse. I mean, really, people, we're here to bring a new reality with a capital R to that landscape. That's why I'm here. I want to bring reality into form, into manifestation on the earth. I want there to be a radical and transformational shift in how we feel about each other, how we feel about ourselves. I work in a field, ministry is a field, also chaplaincy is a field where you see so much human sufferings, unnecessary human suffering, so much fear and so much unhealed stuff from the past, so much abuse, so much violence. I mean, it's just really quite remarkable. I shared this morning in church that I'm pretty sure that if God were a being up in the sky, that she would be looking down and be so completely confused about having been created in the image and likeness of the divine creator, having the power through the instrument of our minds and our emotions and the spiritual senses we've been given. Why on God's green earth would we create what we're creating? Why would we not create heaven on earth? Why would we not create peace, right? Why would we not create enough food for everyone? Why would we not create compassion? So there's a lot of work to be done on an individual and collective basis. I know this, but it starts with us, right? You and I are the ones who can begin to be butterflies. We're the ones who can transform. We're the ones who can change our minds. We're the ones who can become different. Now, I do want to say we have this goo factor, right? We have the issue that change is not simple or comfortable, or we would have done it already. And this applies to you as well as to me and to everyone else, that to change, for caterpillars, it's built into the DNA. I mean, they have no choice. God says, it's time to become a butterfly. Come on, hop into your cocoon. Let's go. And the caterpillar never goes, oh, but I'm going to miss my family so much. And what if you're lying to me and I don't come out a butterfly? What if my life is just over and my body dissolves? And that would just be such a tragic story, blah, blah, blah. Caterpillars do not do that. They just say yes to God. God says, climb in. The caterpillar says yes. God says to us, climb in. And we say, no way, Jose. No. So, I know for me, my own awakening, what God said, okay, oh, Denise, you want to become a different human, you want to become more spiritual? You want to become a kinder, gentler, more loving, happy, healthy, prosperous, wise human being? Oh, okay, good. Here's what you have to do. You have to quit smoking. You have to quit. You have to get out of that terrible relationship you're in. You need to find a job you love. You need to stop worrying. You need to forgive your parents for all the bad things you think they did to you. You do those things and you'll be transformed. To which, we say, oh my God, can I do something else? Isn't there an easier way? Right? Can I take a pill? Or can't you just go, ding, it's done? And she says, no, there's a little bit of goo, but it doesn't last forever, right? The goo doesn't last forever, but it is there. That's a big truth for most people. I guess some people get transformed, boom, like a touched by an angel, but most of us have to change ourselves in order to change ourselves. But we can do it. It is possible. I've changed. I'm not the same person. I know that you hear a lot that people don't change, that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, that the sins of the father are visited upon the son. But that's not reality. The reality is, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if you've been wanting to do something, exercise your 20 seconds of insane courage and just commit to doing it. Commit to being it. Commit to going through whatever you need to go through in order to go for what's real. Because I know it's hard to fathom, but everything on this planet, everything, I'm excluding nothing, has been created by, with the exception of the elephants, the flowers, the trees, the moons, the sun, which are all created by God, all of the mental constructs, the limitations, the borders, the conditions and circumstances of this earth have been created by us. All of them. So they exist in kind of reality kind of way. They are crude and temporary representations of past consciousness, as are, by the way, your current life circumstances. The life you're living today is a creation by you from the past, based on your narrow perception of what is possible from your caterpillarness. You and I and the entire world will shift, must shift. When consciousness shifts, when thinking changes, what we will see happen must change. It will change because consciousness precedes form. Form flows from consciousness. So we are here to shift consciousness. That is why we're here, is to shift the way that we think, shift the way that we feel, shift the way that we behave, shift the things that we're interested in, shift how we show up in life. So that's different for every person. There's not one way, but there is one way, meaning there's one way of awakening is to understand and connect with who you are as a unique and individualized expression of God or of life. If you don't like that word, any word will do. Everything else is for play or for experience. So go for what's real. Go for what's real on a human level. Just know that an orange is an orange. Don't wish you can have an orange. Go eat one. Don't wish you can be peaceful. Go be peaceful. Don't wish you can find friends. Go find friends. Right? Don't worship a picture of an elephant. Go to the zoo and see one, or do what I do and go to Africa and see one. Or you can see right behind me, right? There's one of my African elephants. That picture was taken in the Ngorongoro crater in Tanzania. And it was, I can't even describe to you what it was like to see this real live baby elephant rolling in the mud in the mountain, on the mountainside of the Ngorongoro crater. Way different experience than if I sent you this photo. You would have this, and you would enjoy this photo. I enjoy this photo, but it's not the same thing. It's a much different experience. All right, so hopefully you can. Okay, hopefully, I think I have nothing more to say about this. You kind of get the big picture. I pack a lot of information into 30 minutes. I'm kind of sorry for that, but I've always rolled that way. So I hope you will just take out all the little pieces that you want and need. Otherwise, you can go to my website, which is DeniseSchubert.com. You can go there for many, many purposes. You can go read past blogs. You can go look at beautiful representations of real things, all my photography and photos from the multiple trips I've taken to the continent of Africa. If you want to support this ministry financially, I accept that, and this is my work. So you can do that through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle at Rev. Here, I'll put it up for you at Rev D Schubert. Got my name from it. RevDSchubert@gmail.com. And if you're also looking for a life coach, a spiritual life coach, I'm also more than available, willing, and love doing that work with people. So do not hesitate to reach out if you think it would be of benefit to you in your life. I have coming up, it's the last time, I'm going to bring it up here. If you're going to sign up for this, you need to sign up for this this week. Let me get rid of this. I wanted to initiate a conversation with people about healthy, happy aging and conscious, happy, healthy dying, and preparing for those things because it's inevitable. And being 73 years old myself, I'm consciously aware that I'm on the back nine, and that if I'm not paying attention to my good death, no one else is going to be, or my being happy and healthy in my old age either. So this is a Zoom connection. I anticipate around 10 people. It will be intimate, personal, and we'll just explore all kinds of things like advanced directives and DNRs and INRs and living wills and living funerals and all kinds of wonderful things. So if this tugs at you, please sign up and join me. It's not for everyone, but I know very well that I'm not alone in this conversation either. So, all right. So let's pray. Let me pray with you. Let me close out our evening with affirmative prayer. So the invitation tonight is to invite you into the experience of your life more fully. Like, be present to what you are experiencing. Like, literally, what are you feeling? What are you looking at? What are you tasting? What are you smelling? What are you doing? Like, be present to the experience and draw a distinction between what your experience and what you believe to be true, or what you've accepted to be true, because that is so irrelevant to your experience, so irrelevant to you. Just leave that somewhere over here and kind of stick with being fully present in this wonderful physical, sensual, this experience of sensation. It's why, by the way, it's why we embodied. You're in a body for the purpose of experiencing this dimension. So you're in this body to eat an orange, to see an elephant, to fall in love, to climb a mountain, to write your book, to go for a swim, to swim with dolphins. You are here to enjoy in exaltation the experience of what it means to be alive. So invitation number 1 is do that. Invitation number 2 is to know. So remember, we have this quote, this little cute little butterfly quote. I'm not going to be able to see it again. Oh, yeah. You cannot talk butterfly language with caterpillar people. So I'm talking butterfly language to you. I'm talking the language of having come out of the goo and living in life as a joyful manifestation machine, a joyful experiential manifestation machine. It is possible. So whatever it is, whatever goo you're resisting to awaken, don't resist it. It doesn't last long. It will pass. So I just invite you fully. The world's waiting for us to do it. Your life's waiting for you to do it. Don't worry about your family, friends, or ancestors. Don't worry about them. Everyone's destined to become a butterfly. Everyone. Now, some of us may take several lifetimes. I don't know. My mother didn't do it here, but maybe she'll do it next time. Maybe she's off being a butterfly right now. Now, if I see a butterfly tomorrow morning, it's going to be really, really creepy. Say, hi, Mom. Anyway. All right. So let's just take a final community breath together. Thank you once again for joining me here on Sunday Night Alive. I've been doing this. I think this is my 4th year. So I just love being with you either live on Sunday nights, or if you're watching this post Sunday nights, that's equally as wonderful. And just invite us into a moment of turning within. Turning within is an invitation to let the circumstances, conditions, people, places, conflicts, parts of life that are a little tugging at your heart right now, just let them be where they are on the outside. As you and I turn within into the inside, we open our inner eyes, we gaze into this place, the space and dimension within us that is so perfect, so whole, so unfathomably loving and kind and compassionate. There's this place within us that is all of that and more. The kingdom of heaven is within. And so I invite you into that kingdom of heaven now, in which all things are possible. All things are, there is this unlimited potential for bliss, unlimited potential for ecstasy. There is no divine mandate for suffering, none. And so it is from that place of recognizing the kingdom of heaven within me and the kingdom of heaven within you, knowing that we are connected in that consciousness. And so when I speak my word for and about us, I do it from a God place, a good place, and simply affirm, know, announce, project, declare the inevitability of the butterfly emerging in our lives, the inevitability of getting to see life and experience life and create life from a higher perspective, a higher why. And to know that as we do this, all of the lesser things just simply melt away. They fall away. They disappear. There's no effort. They just simply cannot exist in a new consciousness. That which is old must go. That which is new must come. So simple, yet so seemingly so complicated to achieve. But not tonight, because we call it forward. And I know that as we leave this time, that you will be guided, guarded, maintained, sustained, influenced by the presence of infinite intelligence within you. Everything you need is within you. And so I'm grateful. Grateful for you, grateful for God, grateful for the ability to grow, change, and evolve. Simply release this word and this time into divine hands, accepting the fulfillment of the word and inviting you to join me in that completely, whatever it is you need, by saying yes. And so it is. Amen. 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 All right, beloveds, I will speak to some of you during the week. I will see most of you again next Sunday, and have a wonderful week. And I can't wait to hear about all of your transformations in life. So peace and blessings to you.